Here's the reality of running a business. You can't create and provide value if you can't pay the bills. Okay? If you don't have enough money coming in to support your operations, to buy raw materials, to do all of the things that you need to do in order to create and market and sell and deliver value to other people, you are done. I mean, it's about as simple as that. And the point at which you are bringing in enough to A, pay your bills, to keep doing what you're doing, and B, make it worth it for you to bring in enough to make it worth it for you to keep doing what you're doing. That's a point called sufficiency.
Okay, makes sense.
And the way that I define a successful business, a successful business is a business that has reached the point of financial sufficiency. They're bringing in enough money to keep going, and they're bringing in enough to keep doing what they're doing. There's a venture capitalist and also an essayist. His name is Paul Graham. And he calls this the point of sufficiency ramen profitable. Okay? So, if you're creating a small startup company, ramen profitable is the point where you're bringing in enough revenue that if you live cheaply and you're eating a lot of ramen noodles and whatever, like, you're not burning through your money anymore. You can keep doing what you're doing.
Cool.
You may not be comfortable,
right, or
as comfortable as you want to be, but you're at least to the point
moving
of
in the right direction,
financial sufficiency that you can keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
And sufficiency is more important, I think, than making a lot of money. Business is not necessarily about maximizing profits. Okay, which a lot of people kind of assume
that's the point.
It really isn't. The payoffs to business, you can look at business as primarily a financial activity, and some people treat it that way. Or you can look at business as a creative endeavor, doing something you enjoy, something that allows you to support yourselves and your loved ones, and the benefits may be financial, but they may be mental and emotional and social as well. And that's perfectly fine.
Right.
A business that reaches the point of self-sufficiency, that it's worth it to keep operating, is the short way of putting it. That is a successful business, no matter how much money is coming in.
And that's the hard thing, because it's like you have to decide that for yourself.
Yes.
What's enough?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's, it is a very subjective decision, and it's a judgment call.
Yeah.
How much is enough for you to keep going? And, always, you must be bringing in more than you're spending. Right. I mean, that's baseline, break even, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Okay.
But sufficiency is the enough question.
So sufficiency includes, and then the founder actually is taking home some money instead of just putting all the money into the...
Yes, exactly. I mean, you're not sufficient if you can't pay your rent or you can't keep your lights on.
Okay.
It's, everything included. Are you getting enough of a reward for doing the work that you're doing? If you are, then you're sufficient. If you're not, then you're not sufficient.
Okay.
And, the point is, get your business to the point of financial sufficiency as quickly as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And the best way of doing that is actually to keep your costs as low as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Okay, so, if you're spending, $100,000 a month on, renting an office and hiring employees you may not necessarily need, and, paying for all of these expensive things, country club membership for your executive, even though you're not making enough money, sufficiency is going to come very slowly and difficultly.
Yeah.
Or in a very difficult way.
Yeah.
And by keeping your expenditures low, and we'll talk about bootstrapping and some of these things that you can do this. The point is to get your business to the point of sufficiency as quickly as you possibly can.
Makes sense.
And the less you're spending, the lower your overhead, the more quickly you'll get to the point of sufficiency, and the more you can start to enjoy improving your business and directly benefiting from that and being abundant, well beyond the point of sufficiency. That's a really good psychologically wonderful place to be in, because then you're not worried.
Right.
You know you have enough to be sufficient and keep doing.
And everything you do from that point can just make things better.
Exactly.
That's good.
So, general rule of thumb, sufficiency is the goal. Okay, if you're creating a successful business is sufficient. Get to the point of sufficiency as quickly as you possibly can, and then just improve things from there.